Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. We are back with our coach and friend and consultant, Jesse Lee, joining us live today on the show to talk more about, well, how we can help you. And he understands the psychology of people and really has a very unique perspective through faith, through working hard, through
Yes.
so much that he's here to talk about today to help us grow into what we want to become. And as a coach, Jesse Lee, how would you describe yourself?
Hello, my name is Jesse Lee. I'm a life skills coach, I'm a spiritual coach, I'm an education coach, and I provide other services. I help people with challenges and struggles for their everyday needs.
Beautiful. And how do we find you, Jesse Lee?
My website is leescoachingconsulting.com. My email is jlee, L-E-E, number 2, W-I-N, at gmail.com. And my phone number is 203-526-2914.
Perfect. And you help individuals, children. Would you mind just sharing the age range of people that you can help?
Yes, I help children as early childhood education, as early as 3 to 4. I have training in that, and as old as adulthood. As old as you can be, I help with psychology of people and the developmental needs and the mind and everything else.
Beautiful. So today we're going to talk about finding yourself, right? And discovering
Absolutely.
your individuality. And sometimes that's
Yes.
hard for people. So why would you say people do struggle with accepting them as they are?
Well, what's so funny about it, Jill, is people don't really know who they are. And I always say this because they're always around groups of people. They're trying to conform. It was, and I had a discussion with a college buddy of mine the other day, and I said, sometimes you don't know who a person really is. Like they change all these roles. They listen to people. They talk about people behind their backs, and it's like they're 10 different people, and they can't even point out who they are because they're just trying to be everybody else and please everybody. And my college buddy was like, "Yeah, that is so true." But he just started laughing. He was just so tickled because sometimes you don't understand why people act the way that they act. And I think that's a part of, just finding yourself, finding your individuality, being in your own lane.
It's so true, but not everybody knows how to get there. The steps to actually, figure out who they are, because not everyone's really honest with who they are. Could you share that
Yes.
concept about it? Because sometimes people may have traumatic past experiences. They're unaware how to process it. So I'm sure that a lot of that is involved, and it could be hard for someone really to be honest about who their true self is.
Yes, you know what, Jill? A lot of us block our traumatic experiences. We do it for many ways. We might want to start a new life. We might want to start a new relationship. We might want to have a certain group of people, different things that we want to do and want to accomplish. And when we block those traumatic experiences, we're not being ourselves. We're actually being, as they will say, phony. And phony is not being genuine, not being real, not really telling how you feel. And if you feel sad, express it. I'm not having a good day today, or I'm thinking about my loved one who passed away, or I'm thinking about my childhood and the things that happened to me, and molestation, and being in a dysfunctional household, or just being broken inside and out. I'm thinking about those things. People don't want to feel vulnerable. That is the issue. Because if they feel vulnerable, they feel that the other person's going to judge them. And I am here to kind of, okay, let's focus one on one. Let's be confidential. Whatever you're telling me, let's be confidential about it and let's talk about it. And the lack of trust, Jill, is so important. And I was talking to a couple of people in general. People have a hard time trusting people because they've been stabbed so many times and hurt so many times, and eventually they hear somebody talking about them, they hear all these things, and now they tend to isolate themselves because of the trust. So I think if you develop trust, I'm there to develop trust and that commitment to show that I really care about them. And they are actually expressing themselves. And whatever they say is confidential, it's between me and you. And I always say this, Jill, you don't even have to tell me everything. Tell me 3 words, right? Okay, let me get you a piece of paper. Write a letter. Do whatever it is
Good
to take
idea.
that
Yep.
steam off.
Hmm.
And I have a little box, Jill. Throw the letter in the box. And after you throw the letter in the box, now
Ah,
I'm gonna put it to the side. And after the session, I'm just gonna throw it out, but I'm gonna feel the energy. And after you write the letter, now you're gonna speak to me about different things of how you feel now about you writing these things. And I'm gonna ask different questions to kind of for you to investigate your life. And now eventually you're gonna tell me what's in that letter indirectly without me even asking you.
this is a good idea. What other techniques do you have to help people with their frustrations?
Jill, this is this, and I always say this too, I pray. And I pray for people. And I understand everyone have a different spirituality. I understand that. And I want to make that clear. But my relationship with God, if I pray for you, Jill, right? And if you're an unbeliever, you don't know I'm praying for you. I'm doing it internally. So my prayers might trickle down to kind of change your mind spiritually. And now we're going to get a connection through the prayer and through that relationship with God. And now we're able to talk. And now we're able to get that vibe, even if we have different beliefs. I communicate with all different types of people. But the main thing is my energy being positive. So you can feel that positivity and we can connect.
I love it. It's good to know. Speaking of connection, Jesse Lee, how do we connect with you one more time?
My website is leescoachingconsulting.com.
Mm-hmm.
My email is jlee, Lee, number 2, WIN at gmail.com. And my phone number is 203-526-2914.
Perfect. Any other ways you want to talk about helping those that are frustrated with their current situation before we move on to dealing with what's happening in the world and what we see on the news?
Jill, breathing helps a lot.
Okay.
Breathing helps. Inhale, exhale, right? The meditation, people meditate, people breathe and pray, just to calm down their body. People do different things, right? But sometimes breathing don't always help. So I even suggest for you sometimes to just scream it out. Go in a place and just scream it out. Or if you're not screaming it out, let's use stress balls. And sometimes people don't want to scream and do different things. So stress balls squeeze all the tension out the stress balls. And even if you have to punch a pillow, whatever thing that you have to do it privately to get that anger and animosity and anxiety out. Whatever strategy, and I use these different strategies because it kind of helps them internally take out all the frustration without attacking somebody verbally, okay, in the public. So as they take out that frustration in those variety of ways, now they're able to deal with arguments. Now they're able to deal with debates and different things.
And, for some people who are out there and there's more anger now, there's more frustration. We have a war going on. We have it all over the news. We see violence. We see hate. We see hate speech, hate crimes. We see murder. There's a lot to ingest, especially our younger, excuse me, children. But it's around us a lot, which causes negativity. And we also want to be aware, but how so aware? How would you tell someone to kind of stay away from this or embrace it, teach yourself about it? What do you say to that? What's happening in the world today?
Jill, I don't know if you believe it or not, but these things were meant to happen before we was even born and created.
Mm-hmm.
Just as time change, things change. And we just need to pray. We
Mm-hmm.
really need to pray. Everyone who's Christian, everyone who's religious, please pray. It's very important. It's very imperative because we cannot change things because things are just gonna go how how the purpose was fulfilled through
Mm-hmm.
scripture, through the Bible, do different things. And people who don't believe in prayer or whoever don't believe in things, live in the moment. Focus on the good things
Yeah.
around you and speak internally. Be positive. I am someone special. I have a roof over my head. I have electricity to use. All these different things. Be grateful. And
Mm-hmm.
I always say, praise God. Think about things. Think about your health. Think about your strength. Think about you having children who care about
Mm-hmm.
you having your wife or your spouse who care about you. You're able to actually get in a car and be in the heat instead of waiting for the bus. So those little things, you kind of get what I'm saying? Those
So
little things are
true.
so appreciative. And that's what we must do. Okay. We can't change these things. And these things is just gonna happen, right? But this is the thing, Jill, and this is what I was thinking about too yesterday. if I am here to if I am here right now currently, and if I'm doing greater good for people and for the world, and my spirit is just affecting people through God and through love and whatever the case may be, even if I die today, I am fulfilled because I know what my purpose here was on earth. So
Yeah.
if you know what your purpose is, Jill, if you know why you're here and what you're here to do, whenever we are taken and whenever we go, we're going to be in peace with it because we lived our best life now. Joel Osteen always said this: live your best life now, right? Focus on the moment. Be happy. Look out the window. Look at the sun. Look at the trees. Get the vitamin D in your body.
It's
All
so
that
true.
stuff. Yes,
Live
yes,
your best life now. You're right.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, someone
So
like Joel, you mentioned he's a leader. Why is there more followers than leaders like that out there? Sorry to cut you off.
it's okay. It's okay, Jill. What I notice is a lot of people want to conform. They want to be of the world. They want to be a part of the world, but they don't want to be their spiritual self. They don't want to be who they really are as individual. And I don't know if you remember, Jill, but last week I was talking about the seat of the emotions, right? How do you feel? What is your intuition? What is your
Mm-hmm.
inner self? So those seat of the emotions will create the soul and the spirit. Now you're able to walk in your own lane. You're able to do the things that you want to do. That lamp, like in the Bible, lamp to my feet and light to my path, you're not going to be afraid to think out of the box. You're not going to be afraid to do the things that you always wanted to do and have those opinions and have those different things that you really care about. But and let's go back to followers. Followers are insecure in their ways. They're not confident enough to say, this is what I think, and I don't care what you think about me because of my viewpoint.
Yeah.
They're afraid of debate, they're afraid of attack.
When you say attack, you mean like someone judging them, speaking up to them, because that's another issue I have with people. A lot of people judge us and want to attack us silently behind our backs or to our front, to our faces. But what do you say to those people out there? They're naysayers, but it affects a lot of us sometimes if someone is speaking of them poorly. How do you see, tell yourself or tell that person to be strong and not worry about what others think and be, what would you say to that? Because there's a lot of that out there, that negativity. And how do you let that go so calmly and just let it go?
You know what, Jill? And this is what I always thought of. It's not about you when someone says something about you. And I heard this all the time. Whatever someone says about me is none of my business.
Mm-hmm.
So if they talk about you and if they're focused on you and your flaws and everything that you're doing, you must be
Mm-hmm.
special.
Yeah.
You must be special. You have to be an effect on people. You have to be somebody that's stand out and and is that light because they're actually taking their time and taking their energy to talk about you.
Mhm.
You kind of get what I'm saying? So these things, and I've been in a lot of issues, a lot of things that sometimes I couldn't understand. Sabotage, people talking to behind my back, me pouring out, doing everything that I can do to help the person. And then they go against me. But they're not really going against me, Jill, and look at it like this. They're really showing who they really are. And my grandmother, my spiritual advisor said this. If someone shows who they really are, you better look.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying? So, and it's painful and it hits the heart. And internally you feel I'm doing everything that I can do for this person. I want a friendship with this person. I want to be there for this person. I thought this person really cared about my feelings.
Mhm.
But this all stems down to childhood and it stems down to their pain and whatever they're feeling right now and their insecurities and all their worries and all their struggles. Now they want you to be miserable because now they're not content in the state that they are
Mhm.
mentally.
Well, what about jealousy? That's a big thing. Some people
Oh
are,
my goodness.
yeah.
Jill, you know what? And all of us have a bit of jealousy in us, right?
Yeah.
And this is normal, right? Because if people are doing better, if people want the car, have the car that we always wanted, or or is in this nice big house, or whatever the case may be, or a career, whatever the case may be, sometimes in our heart we'll say, "Well, I don't have it now. I'm happy for this person, but I really want it right now." Okay, that jealousy and it's a little bit, but don't
Mhm.
let it manifest. Create a positive effect on it and say, I'm gonna work hard and I'm gonna get it. Okay, but the jealousy that's in others is like embedded, and it starts as a little seed, as a mustard seed, and as they develop a relationship with their friends, and
Mhm.
a mustard seed is so small, right? It goes right through
Yep.
your hands, right? Okay, so as that mustard seed is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and then it turns to a tennis ball, and then all of a sudden now it's ready to explode like,
Yep.
you know, so all those things is like, what is going on? You know, what am I what am I doing to this person for this person to do me like this?
Yep.
So the jealousy, we can't stop the jealousy within that person internally. But what
Mhm.
we could stop is our relationship with that person, the more toxic it gets, so we can move on. Because that means that that person is not really our friend if they're jealous for us. They're supposed to
So
be
true.
praising us, they're supposed to be motivating us, doing things for us, and we can both be happy and strive for that common goal.
Oh, that's a good one. You're right. You got to let those toxic people out of your life and push. Oh, yeah, because it could be consuming and it does bad things to us even without us knowing. So you got to just, I mean, I believe in positivity, positive affirmations, mindset, like, and I just have little ones that, we every day in the morning, we look in the mirror, we say, we're beautiful, we're amazing, we're going to do great things today. Try to set that up for the day and to give someone that motivation, which I think if we do that more often, and I know you're a believer in that too, I think it helps with us living happier and being happier people for ourselves, for our families, and for to those around us. Yeah, yeah. hmm What are some other suggestions about helping a person experience happiness and getting that peace?
I always wait when I wake up in the morning, Jill,
And
and
you
when
wake
I
up
open
early, right?
yeah, I wake up early. And when I open my eyes, I'm just so grateful just for being healthy. And
Mm-hmm.
internally, I'm already giving God and giving praises to Him
Praise. Mm-hmm.
internally as I get up, as I
Mm-hmm.
walk. Everything that I do, I'm doing internally.
Yeah.
But this is the thing, Jill, what we have a hard time doing, putting
Yeah.
ourselves first. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay to be selfish.
Yeah.
It's okay to care about your health and your well-being and all these different things. Because if you don't take care of yourself, you're going to be in the hospital. All these things are going to happen to you. Then you're going to turn around and you're stressful and
Yep.
frustrated. And you end up being mad at your relatives and all the people around you. It's so funny because it's like you're attacking, you're attacking, you're attacking. You're like,
Mm-hmm.
give me a break, okay? Wait. I need some time. I can't do everything.
Yep.
But if you set boundaries. I need a certain amount of time,
Mm-hmm.
and set boundaries. I'm going to take a day off. Okay. Mom, cousin, whatever. I can't do it right now. I need time to do my work, or I have an appointment.
Yep.
Okay, you can use that, right? I have an appointment. They're
So
not going to
true.
know what appointment you have,
Mm-hmm.
but you need appointments with yourself.
True.
And you need that on a weekly basis. You need that to decompress,
Mm-hmm.
calm yourself down. Work on your health.
Yeah.
Mental health is so important. Okay? He that keep his mind on the Lord is in perfect peace. Mental health,
Mm-hmm.
spiritual realm, and it's also mental health. You creating the positive thoughts in your mind. So
Yep.
now spiritually and
You're
also physically, you're able to wake up, you're healthy, and
happy.
now your health is going to increase and now you're going to get better.
Love it. Love it. By the way, Jesse Lee, remind us again how we could reach out to you before we finish. We still
Lee,
have time together, darling.
okay, no problem. Lee'sCoachingConsulting.com.
Yeah, and we're talking to our friend here, our coach, who's based out of Connecticut, but doesn't matter. He can work with you anywhere around the world, and he's a man of faith. He's a good person, and I know we credit your grandma. What do we call you, grandma? Nana? What do
Uh,
we? Mima?
Prophet Sadie Lee Miles.
Thank you, Prophet
Yes,
Sadie
yes,
Lee
yes,
Miles.
yes,
We got to
yes,
look
yes.
her up too.
Absolutely. She's done some great things. She actually have her own street sign. I don't know if you know this.
No,
Um,
where?
yes, it's right where our church is at. So she has a day, Pastor Sadie Miles Day. It just passed October 22nd.
Oh
So she
my
has a lot of
goodness.
citations and she's just phenomenal.
Hence your inspiration through all
Yes,
this to become
absolutely.
what you are and to help other people become happy like this. Wow. Okay. Awesome. Now, what would she suggest in you about isolation? Because then some people become afraid, isolate themselves from others.
When they isolate themselves from others, and I was looking into this and I was thinking about it and thinking about why is people just separating themselves? Don't answer the phone, no text, no nothing, no response.
Yeah.
But what they're actually trying to do, Jill, the person is trying to do, they're trying to take room for themselves and their identity.
Yeah.
They don't know who they are at the time. And they're trying to focus and refocus. And sometimes the close friends that they do have, they push away against them close friends because now they want to go to another path
Mm-hmm.
and another way of life, right?
Yeah.
So when things like that happen, we have temporary friends, we have permanent friends, and all different type of friends that we have. Those
Mm-hmm.
permanent friends are going to stay with us through the storm, through all the tribulation, through all the trials, and they're going to stick with us. But those temporary family members and friends, they're just going to be there for a season
Yeah.
because now we're getting to another level developmentally and spiritually. So every time we go up a level, now things is starting to shift. And we're going to have less friends now because our intelligence, our knowledge, our wisdom, what it says in the Bible, all the spiritual fruits of the spirit and everything like that, we're starting to have more love. We're starting to understand people more. And we're starting to get more blessings, Jill. I don't know. I know you've experienced this, right? All the blessings that God gave you, in a career, different things that's happening. Everything's shifting. And now people are just leaving out of your life and you don't understand why.
Mm.
The why is because now God is pushing you to another level. He
Yeah.
said, I press towards the prize of a higher calling. So he's calling you to reach higher. And you reaching the world, Jill,
Yeah.
everybody's hearing you.
Mhm.
Everybody's relying on your advice and your happiness and your joy. So that's why you have to rejuvenate yourself.
Yeah.
Joy of the Lord is your strength. Rejuvenate yourself. Go to that parish. Remember, Jill?
Yeah.
I remember you said you felt so good with that parish, with your family and everything like that. And you're so happy. Find that little child in you, and now you can help
Yeah.
others.
Oh, beautiful. Well, thank you so much. And before we go, there was still one more thing on the list I wanted to make sure we cover about coaching and assisting someone with putting themselves first, which is hard because it's like self-care, selfish. Remind us of that importance of that and going back to our inner child, which is another aspect that we didn't touch upon yet.
It's okay, Jill. And we can always talk about this later. But the thing is, this is what you do when you put yourself first. Stop, breathe, and think. And the only way you can do those things is to shut the door. Literally.
Yes.
No, I'm serious.
No, no,
Because
I
when you
know.
get in the house, right? Go in the bathroom, go in
Mhm.
your room, close the door. And when somebody knocks, give me 10 minutes. I need
Yeah,
time. And that time right there helps you to regroup your thoughts, helps you to be a better person, help you to think positive,
love it. Yeah,
and you just rejuvenated for that moment so you can kind of take all the thoughts that you had throughout the day.
that's so
That's
true.
how I'm gonna put it.
So how did you want to leave off? What advice do you want to leave with us, Coach Jesse Lee?
Absolutely. Know this, finding your individuality, right? And,
Mm-hmm.
and, and, and Jeremiah says, before you were formed in your mother's womb, I already knew you. So, Jill, you were already destined, and everyone's destined for whatever they need, whatever they supposed to do in life, reach the world, drive a truck, whatever you supposed to do, be a football player, it was
Mm-hmm.
already planned for you. God is
Exactly.
already working behind scenes for the plan. All you have to do is just take the ride.
Yeah, and
That's
take
it.
the journey. Oh,
That's it.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Will do.
that's what I want
Jesse,
to leave.
remind us how we can reach you.
Lee'sCoachingConsulting.com.
Perfect.
J Lee Lee number 2 WIN at gmail.com. 203-526-2914.
Perfect. Thank you again. Hope you have a fantastic day. And to
Thank you
all of
so
our
much.
listeners, stay tuned. Another fantastic show, another fantastic week. Let's keep this positivity going. And thank you for your advice, your help, and for your angst to help so many. Reach out, Jesse Lee. Have a great day.
You too.
Thank
Have
you
a good
so
one.
much, sweetheart. Bye bye.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcasts on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.